Yes, ma'am.
I'll check once again. I hope I'm clear. I'm audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Let's start. Let's resume this lesson that we were revising since yesterday. We have, we were on the point yesterday that the Jack and Joe have been continuing this, storytelling and the story listening. The father was excited in storytelling activity, and equally the daughter was interested in gesticulations and all the reflections that she used to give. We were on these points where we stopped yesterday. So, come on page number 50. Page number 50, and you can open your books, Shreyansh and Nachiket. If you can keep your videos on, it would be wonderful. Right? Shreyansh, Vijay, and Nachiket.
Ma'am, I had a connection problem.
Okay, this is Nachiket or Shreyansh.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Now there was a question answer session between the father and the daughter, and sometimes the mother and the daughter. We discussed this point yesterday that Joe used to ask so many questions, and which the father used to answer, but there was no justifying answer to those things. Now, what is this thing that when the girl used to question so many things, the father couldn't answer that way with clarity? The daughter used to ask her dad, are magic spells real? Do spiders eat bugs? And he used to answer curtly, abruptly, because the questions in the between used to bring a set back in his narrative. He used to get disturbed with the questions of the girl. So the house said, go through the, now, are they real in stories? Magic spells real? And Jack used to answer curtly, because he used to miss a beat. The further we move with the story this way, the owl said, go through the dark woods under the apple trees into the swamp over the creek. What is a creek? Again a question. Now the owl used to guide when the animal used to go to the owl, when skunk went to the owl guided him go over the creek. So she asked, what is a creek? Creek is a small river, right? So a little river over the creek, and there will be wizard's house. So animal's problem, bad smelling, stinky skunk, went to the owl, and the owl guided him to a particular place, and the place is over the creek. And when he has reached over the creek, he was instructed that there would be a wizard's house. So finally, the skunk is about to reach to the wizard's house. And that's the way Roger Skunk went, and pretty soon he came to a little white house, and he rapped on the door. Jack rapped on the windowsill. Now, to give this action a drama effect, Jack used to rap the window of the room, and he used to create some noises. And at the same time, Joe used to reflect and show her excitement that something dramatic is taking place simultaneously. So, storytelling as well as drama. By both the characters of our story, that is Jack and Joe, they connect like that. And there's a line, Jack rapped on the windowsill, and under the covers, Joe's tall figure clenched in an infantile thrill. So she used to get thrilled, and then a tiny little old man came out with a long white beard and pointed blue hat and said, ah, what is this? What do you want? Like there's some words like what this, what, so what do you want? What is this? You smell awful. The wizard said to the skunk that you are so bad smelling creature. The wizard's voice was Jack's own favorite voice. Jack had some likings and dislikings of his own created characters. So this wizard plays a very important role, this part of the story every day, every Saturday, every afternoon when Jack might be telling the story. When this part used to come, he used to feel excited and did more, giving his 100% in creating the voice of the wizard. Maybe he thought, or no, he thought that the old man's role suits him the best when he plays the role of the wizard. So, you smell awful. The wizard's voice was one of Jack's favorite effects. He did it by scrunching up his face and somehow winding through his eyes, which felt for the interval roomy. Now this, he felt when he used to do that, the word is watery discharge from your eyes, when he used to do all these efforts. So he felt for that pace, or when he's pacing with that role, he's trying to pace up. He felt that breaks he needed. So he felt being an old man suited him. I know it, Roger Skunk said, and all the little animals run away from me. And then the little skunk expresses his problem to the wizard. And he says, all the animals run away from me. Now, dear students, the point that you have to understand is perspective of a child. Skunk is a little skunk. Joe is little Joe. Two children, right? And child psychology doesn't accept to be aloof, to be alone. So Joe's perspective, loneliness is not liked by no one. No one will like loneliness, but children, how it is going to affect, how it's going to influence their personality if they live isolated, if they live alone. So this animal, Roger Skunk, said, all the little animals run away from me. The enormous wise owl said, you could help me. Ah, well, maybe, come on in, don't get too close. They're so smelly, they're so bad. Now, Joe, there was all these magic things all jumped together in a big dusty heap because the wizard did not have the cleaning lady. Now, the question, why the wizard did not have the cleaning lady there? So, Joe's curiosity, are magic spells real? Do spiders eat bugs? Right? Is God there? Is he there in the sky? And now another question, what is a crick? And then the fifth question or the sixth question, right? So that why he doesn't have a cleaning lady? Why? Because he was a wizard and a very old man. Will he die? Now the next question from Joe's side, will he die? So this used to give a break to the father in his narratives, right? And because he was a wizard and he used to answer abruptly, there must be the answers which the children asked with proper attention. But Jack was missing. Jack was interested in narrating the story, but not answering the questions of little Joe. This is also being brought forward before the readers, to understand. No, wizards don't die. Well, he rummaged around and found, because wizard's house was a clumsy house. Wizard's house, the things were scattered, and he was searching his magic stick. So he searched here and there, rummaged here and there. R-U-M-M-A-G. You can go through this word, right? He searched. When you make something untidy, you're searching your file and you make it untidy, the whole of your bookshelf at the table, because you're searching something particular. So this way the wizard is being shown. He lives in a very clumsy house, things scattered, but he's a wizard who can solve problems. So let's resume back. And Roger Skunk, what he wanted to smell like. He asked, well, what do you want? Which smell you want? Yes, good, Joe said smugly. Now, the answer given by the skunk is, I want to be roses, like I want the smell of the fragrance of the roses. So Joe also liked the idea. Joe liked it wonderfully. Oh wow, now the skunk will be a good smelling, a fragrant creature. An animal who will spread fragrance, and everyone will love him. And all the other creatures will play with him. That means somewhere in Joe's mind is also there that if I'm lonely, no one will play with me. I said yesterday also, we all love society, social beings we are. We don't want isolations. They're not good for our mental health. How can they be good for a small child who is 4 years old? Or a little skunk, the fictitious character? So, now there is the magic wand of the magician will work, and there are few beautiful lines, like beautiful in the sense means magic. People, they use some lines, abracadabra, Roger Skunk, how do you do? And the last word, bingo. So when he says bingo, the magic is done, right? You might have seen in Cartoon Networks also. He paused as a rapt expression widened out from his daughter's nostrils, forcing her eyebrows up and her lower lip down in a wide, noiseless grin. So there is a grin, there is an expression in which Jack was starting to recognize his wife feigning pleasure at the cocktail parties. Let me explain you this point, which is, it will take a second, a minute for you to understand that whenever he used to see his wife Claire and Joe pretending something what they are not. So he never liked that. We have read Aunt Jennifer's Tigers. There was a word chauvinism. I explained you the word chauvinist, right? So here also men and women are also there. One young girl and the wife, the representative of all women. And the husband, that is Jack, who doesn't like when women pretend. So whether she is her daughter or his daughter, or whether she is his wife. So he paused as a rapt expression widened out from his daughter's nostrils, forcing her eyebrows up and her lower lip down in a wide, noiseless grin, an expression in which Jack was startled to recognize his wife feeling pleasure at cocktail parties. All of a sudden, he whispered, the whole inside of the wizard's house was full of smell of roses, and Roger Fish cried, Daddy, you said Roger Fish. He's Roger Skunk. So by mistake, the father used the word Roger Fish in place of Roger Skunk. And when father used this word Roger Fish, the daughter reminded. She used to guide in between, interrupted between. Daddy, you said Roger Fish. You said Roger Fish, wasn't that silly? Very silly of your stupid old daddy, dear. The daddy is so silly and foolish who's saying Roger Fish instead of Roger Skunk. Where was I? Now tell me the beat where I was moving on. Okay, Roger Skunk said, but all I have is 4 pennies. We discussed yesterday the animal will face a problem in payment. A nominal fee would be asked, and that fee the animal is not able to pay. So here Roger Skunk was asked 7 pennies, he had 4 pennies only. Now again the wizard would guide. Oh, so said the wizard, oh, very well, go to the end of the lane and turn around 3 times and look down the magic well, and there you'll find 3 pennies, hurry up. So Roger Skunk went to the end of the lane and turned around 3 times. And there in the magic well were 3 pennies. So he took them back to the wizard and was very happy and ran out of the woods, and all the other little animals gathered around him because he smelled so good. So finally, Roger Skunk got what he wanted. He wanted other friends to play with him. And when he's smelling of roses, when he's fragrant, when he's not like a skunk and he's like roses, so the smell of the roses, so he's very happy. And so Roger Skunk went to the end of the lane, and so he took all the pennies back to the wizard and was very happy and ran out into the woods, and all the other little animals gathered around him because he smelled so good. And they played tag, baseball, football, basketball, lacrosse, hockey, soccer, and pick-up sticks. What is pick-up sticks, Daddy? Now the girl again with a question. Her curiosity, her inquisitiveness is not letting her stop. So what is pick-up sticks that you play? It's the game you play with sticks. So any answer he gave. Like the wizard's magic wand, kind of. And they played games and laughed all afternoon, and then it began to get dark and they all ran into their mommies. Now the point, when the skunk went to its mommy and relaxed on the bed, the mommy howled, got angry. What is this? We'll go back to the wizard, and she took out her umbrella to beat the wizard or to hit the wizard. So coming back to the title, should wizard hit mommy or mommy hit wizard? What is happening in the story? The mother is taking out the umbrella to hit the wizard, and See the lines. And Roger Skunk said, "It's me, mommy. I smell like roses." Dear students, is it clear till here? Unmute yourself. Mohammad Aris, Shreyansh, Shalini, able to understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. This much is clear? Good. Okay. So, and Roger Skunk said, "It's me, mommy. I smell like roses." And she said, "Who made you like this?" So there is drama, there is story, there are beautiful characters. The plot is going within a plot, story within a story. So the wizard, and she said, well, of all the nerve, very angry, she gathered herself. "You come along with me, and we are going right back to that very awful wizard." Joe sat up, and Joe did not like this, and her hands dabbling in the air with genuine fright. But Daddy, then he said about the other animals would run away. Her hands skittered off into the underbrush. "All right," he said. Now, Jack is also abiding to the guidelines given by Joe, little small instructions. So he said, "All right, but mommy, all the other little animals will run away." She said, "I don't care." Now the point, moral question. Is it right everything, whatever the parents decide for the children? Or there must be some vent, some place for the children to express themselves? There's a moral question, which will come further in the conclusion of the story. So mother said, "No, I'll take back to you to the wizard. And when I'll take you to the wizard, he will change you. He has to change you back to a skunk smell. But mommy, all the little animals, all other little animals will run away." And she said, "But I don't care. You smell the little, you should smell the way a little skunk should be. And I'm going to take you right back to the wizard." And she took an umbrella and went back with Roger Skunk to hit that wizard right over his head. "No," Joe said, and put her hand out to touch his lips. And Joe did not like this. So perspective of Joe and Jack, please understand. Joe and Jack. Jack wanted in the story that wizard, mommy should hit the wizard. Mommy hit the wizard. Hit the wizard. The question is, we share the question also why. And Joe wanted or wants. When we write the answer, we write wanted. Joe wanted wizard should hit mommy. Now this is the major query in the story. If you prepare these two questions, you can answer many other questions, and this is the concluding part also. This is the summarized ending also, which the readers also has a role to play to give their stand what they feel. Whether Joe's stance you stand with, or whether Jack, and now why? Why the question? I said we discuss why, let's discuss here. Why? So the mother went to the wizard and hit the wizard. Whose mother? Skunk's mother. And, right? And took an umbrella and went back to with Roger Skunk and hit that wizard right over his head. No. No, he said the wizard is okay, and Roger Skunk did not smell of roses anymore. He smelled very bad again. But the other animals, now Joe's version. Other animals will not, so Joe's version is, what is Joe's version? Wizard should hit that stupid mommy. Why Joe wanted this? Because it is not good for children to love the company of other children. Joe is with little skunk. Joe is psychologically with little skunk, and Jack is with the mommy. That's why the story is taking these two diversions, right? And the reader is on the fork or on the diversion stand, right? So there's a question, NCERT question on page number 55. What is your stance regarding the two endings of the Roger Skunk story? This is to ponder, this is to think. Other 5 questions are very important from the point of view of writing an exam. That we'll share after the story we have finished. So no, he said, and now daddy scolds the little girl. Joan, it is daddy's story, or you shall continue the story. Shall daddy not tell you any more stories? When Jo was angry with the father for giving such an ending, and she thought that the story has the story has ended, right? Now the wizard said okay. The wizard answered the mother okay, and Roger's skunk was now no more smelling of roses. Skunk and his mommy went home, and they heard hoo-hoo and the choo-choo train bringing daddy home from Boston. And then the lima beans and celery and liver mashed potatoes and desserts were shared, as it was the plot of the story that Jack used to share the food and the eatables of particular animals. Right? And when Roger Skunk was in bed, Mommy Skunk came up and hugged him and said, oh, he smelled like other little baby skunks. And again, she loved him very much. And that's the end of the story. But Daddy, what about other animals? No. But because eventually they got used to the way he was and did not mind it at all. Now my point is Jack's perspective that mommy hit the wizard. Why? Because parents are right in deciding for their children. Because Jack here is the representative of parents and Jo is the representative of children. Right? And one must stick to the identity, your own identity. Next point, why Jack wanted this way, that Roger's skunk should smell like skunks, because you must not lose your natural way of living, what God has gifted you as an adaptation or protective shield. So skunk, but Jo will never understand this point. Maybe going against the nature, changing a skunk to smell like roses. Okay, all the students whose videos are connectivity problem or any other thing, kindly get your things rectified and keep your videos on when you are attending the. Shall I continue now? Shall I continue and end this lesson? Okay, then what happens later on? Jo is very angry and she says, what foolishness is this? What eventually the ending has come up. Right? And there's a word eventuality. What is this? Right? So that was a stupid mommy. Now Jo considered that mommy as a stupid mommy who did not want her child to play with other animals, and she was stick to the point. Now I want you to put your big heavy head in the pillow and have a good long nap. He adjusted the shade, but Bobby is already asleep, younger brother, and you're not sleeping. So he scolded his daughter and went down to help his wife. And when he went down, he found half of the furniture was ivory and half of the furniture was tan, brown color. The furniture that we have of generally brown and that is unkempt and unpainted, which is not painted for few years and all, and it becomes very uncared and all. So the half of the furniture Claire had painted, which was white, ivory white, and half of the furniture was, it looked very ugly. And when he reached there, because he's unable to satisfy his daughter as well as his wife. The last conclusion of this, but Jo kept on shouting and urging his father, Daddy, tomorrow you say that he hit the mommy. Do it. She kicked her legs and father says, shall I come up and spank you? Shall I give you a slap and then you'll sleep? But the situation in the mind of Jack is such. His wife has worked hard a lot and his daughter is also not satisfied. And why is dissatisfied? Because she's about to budget her third child and she should not work so hard. And she had to work because Jack was busy in telling the story. So he closed the door and went downstairs. Claire had spread the newspapers and opened the paint can. I'm on the conclusion of the story, dear students. So pay attention. And wearing an old shirt on his top of on top of her maternity smock and was stroking the chair rail with a dipped brush. Above him, footsteps vibrated, and he called, "Joan, shall I come here and spank you?" The footsteps hesitated. Now no noises were coming from the upstairs. "That was a long story," Claire said. "The poor kid," he answered, and with utter airiness watched his wife doing the labors. And the woodwork, a cage of moldings, rails, baseboards, everything seemed so untidy, ugly. In the middle position he found. Why did Jack find himself in the middle position? Because he himself is not satisfied. Today, his daughter did not sleep. Moreover, he couldn't help his wife, and he found himself in a fix, in a situation where he was stuck up. And he did not feel like talking to her, did not feel like interacting with his wife. And so this way the story ends, leaving us in a, not in a dilemma, I'll not say in a dilemma, but where we stand. Right? So, what is the moral issue that the story raises? The first thing that I would like to discuss with you, already have discussed Joe's perception and Jack's perception. We again come to this point. So first, what moral issue the story raises? Stories are best to teach moral values to the kids. We ourselves have learned a lot of values through books of Hindi literature and poems of Hindi, English, Sanskrit, morals, value education. We have learned values. So how stories play and what moral issue that this story brings? The children should be submissive to the parents, or parents are the right judges or the best people who decide the right things for the children. This moral issue. The clash between parents and children, where Jack wanted that mommy is right in hitting the wizard, and where Joe says no, mommy was wrong, that was a stupid mommy, and wizard should have hit mommy. Now the question is why? So how does Joe want the story to end and why? So these are NCERT questions also, which we need to discuss in the end. Right? So Joe wanted the story to end where the wizard should hit the mommy, because she is a young child. And young children, I said, younger ones, they want company of their friends. Point number one. Then poetic justice, the second point. You can note down, keep your pencil in your hand. I give you the time to note down these things. Poetic justice. Children, they want happy endings. They don't want, I said, they are so set mentally that they want, so Joe was with the skunk. Psychologically, mentally with the skunk. Joe was skunk's friend, psychologically. So she wanted all in favor of skunk. And she attached herself with the skunk. And skunk's innocence was Joe's innocence. Joe's innocence was actually skunk's innocence. The children are innocent and they want happy endings. That's why Joe wanted this. And moreover, Joe wanted to be in the company of her friends. That's why she wanted that wizard should hit mommy on changing him and should refuse in changing or should not change again. And Jack will continue, children, the answers in the next class also, one session. And isolations, you can note down, are not good for child psychology. Isolations, living aloof, living alone is not good. So Joe, despite being a small child, she understood that one cannot live in isolation. A child cannot live without friends. So this way. And moral issue, how does Joe want the story to end? Now, how does Jack want the story to end? Jack wanted the story to end in such a way that where the mommy should, mommy is right, I should say. Mommy has done you say, in the lesson we are saying mommy, but in our homes we say mom and mommy. So mommy is right, mommy is right. Right? And mommy here is very right. So what is now Jack's points? Jack's explanation that you will answer why Jack wanted this story to end in such a manner? Please write down. Jack's perspective. Acceptance of life in all its colors. Point number 2. Parents are better judges. So it's acceptance of life as it is. Acceptance of life. The way it comes to us in its way. Right? Fine? Acceptance of life as it comes to you. Right? Then the second point, why Jack wanted the story to end this way. You could write, parents are better judges. Jack believed that parents are better judges. So Jack believed that parents are good judges. Parents are better judges. Right? So that's why Jack felt that the mother was right. Now the next point you can write, one has to stick to his or her identity. The next point, stick to your identity. That's why Jack wanted the skunk to be like that as he was. So sticking to identity or stick to your identity. He believed that the skunk should have accepted himself as he was. Point number 3. And world is also based on individual differences, and we must accept those differences. So this way, dear students, we have understood the story should result with mommy, Jack's perspective and Joe's perspective, and what is the moral issue that the story raises. What makes Jack feel or caught in an ugly middle position because he's not able to satisfy his wife as well as his daughter. Both places he finds himself a little failure, and that's why he feels that he's stuck up in a middle position. What is your stance? That you have to decide whether you feel Jack's ending is justifying or Joe's ending is justifying. And the last question, why is adults' perspective on life different from that of child's? Children's world is a rosy tinted world. They don't want sadness. They only know happy endings, even of the stories. Child psychology cannot accept loneliness. There's no word like sadness, death, and all. They will never accept these sad words. And children cannot justify unhappy endings, as I said. And duty, morals, and ethics, children learn at a little later stage. In Joe's age, you cannot teach a child so many moral things, where Jack may be little not having that understanding. So I hope the conclusion of the lesson. So again, I'm repeating, duty, morals, ethics, children understand in later stage. You understand now better what are ethics, why I must be ethical, right? So let us end this lesson, and I hope you have understood the question answers. Shalini, unmute yourself better. Nachiket, Shreyansh, unmute yourself. Children.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. So please revise this lesson. I expect that you revise this chapter, and if you have any queries, you can ask in the next class.